Time for the J3C Pigskin Podcast. I'm John. Give me 3 minutes. I'll give you my 3 cents. Consider this the audio companion to my weekly college football top 25, which you'll find online at johns3cents.wordpress.com. A week after a seismic shift hit the college football landscape, a few aftershocks rattled the proverbial dishes in the college football cupboard. While Alabama remained nailed firmly to the top spot, Oregon vibrated a bit for about a half before demolishing UCLA. FSU looked determined to just match anything Alabama did on the day, while Ohio State seemed to be going for style points in a record-setting demolition of Penn State. Missouri crashed against the ceiling of South Carolina. Texas Tech got chipped by Oklahoma, while Miami narrowly averted disaster by an eyelash against Wake Forest. The other noises you may have heard over the weekend were Virginia Tech shattering against the withering onslaught of Duke, and Nebraska being broken by Minnesota for the first time in over 50 years. Closer to my heart, Georgia Tech found an ACC opponent that was actually bad enough to look a gift horse in the mouth, repeatedly. And Tennessee got thoroughly reminded of just how far they still have to go before becoming relevant again. Moreover, though, I think the Vols' outings against Oregon and Alabama illustrate even more clearly the gap between actual contenders and pretenders. And I still don't think there are more than maybe 3 of the former versus 2 or 3 dozen of the latter. But hey, without those pretenders, I couldn't very well complete this week's J3C Top 25, so I suppose those teams do serve a purpose beyond just boosting their local economies. Alabama remains number 1 for another week, but I've finally made a switch after that, moving Florida State to number 2, with Oregon now 3rd. Why? At the moment, I simply believe that FSU comes closer to being a total package team than the Ducks. My hesitation with the Noles boils down to knowing that freshman quarterbacks eventually end up looking like, well, freshman quarterbacks. But so far, famous Jameis hasn't done that. And since he hasn't yet, well, I guess they deserve the spot until he does. Or until I change my mind. South Carolina moves up 6 spots to number 15 for the biggest jump of the week. Missouri falls 7 spots to number 13 for the biggest drop. Michigan State and Minnesota are the new entries at 22 and 23. They replace Nebraska and Virginia Tech. Of course, you can see the entire Top 25 every week by hitting the blog at johns3cents.wordpress.com. Looking at the upcoming weekend, we get the Miami-Florida State showdown in prime time in Tallahassee. And there's also Oklahoma State at Texas Tech among the top 25 matchups. Michigan at Michigan State might be interesting in the afternoon. And, of course, there's the little matter of the world's largest outdoor cocktail party down in Jacksonville. Someone asked me when the last time the Georgia-Florida game saw both teams come in unranked, so I looked it up. Turns out it hasn't been that long. It happened back in 2010. But it's only the second time that it's happened since 1979. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a great week. I'm John, and that's my 3 cents.